Metallica were arguably the biggest underground band in the world when they set upon making their follow-up to 1988's And Justice for All. But the creative and commercial leap they made with their 1991 self-titled LP, better known as the Black Album, is still mind-blowing, even in retrospect. Justice's sprawling, intricate, multi-part political epics were focused into concise, personal, heavy pop songs. Frontman James Hetfield actually started legitimately singing, not just yelling, and the production was crisp and sharp, especially compared to its predecessor's virtually baseless mix, making songs like Sad But True and their smash lead single Enter Sandman simply explode through the listener's speakers and headphones. On the commercial side, the Black Album was a massive hit at the time, catapulting Metallica to full-fledged superstardom. But what's even more remarkable is its staying power. The record continues to outsell major new releases every week and stands as one of the best-selling albums of all time, of any genre. Anthrax's Charlie Benante spoke to Revolver back in 2011 and said, "It was like your older brother went to college and became Bill Gates," when looking back on his friends and fellow thrashers' unimaginable breakthrough. It was like, "Make sure you write us sometimes, please?" So, in celebration of the record that turned Metallica into the Bill Gates of metal, here are 10 things you likely didn't know about the Black Album. Number 1, the Black Album's shorter, more streamlined songs were actually a reaction against And Justice for All's proggy excess. In 2007, James Hetfield spoke bluntly to Uncut Magazine, saying, "To me, the And Justice for All album sounds horrible, awful, I can't fucking stand it. You know, that was our fancy stage, showing off too much. We knew we had to move on, and the Black Album was the opposite. So when me and Lars got back together after a short break, I said, we really got to try to write some shorter, to-the-point songs." Hetfield wasn't alone in feeling like Metallica had gone too far off the proggy deep end with Justice. Kirk Hammett revealed to Rolling Stone in 1991, "We realized that the general consensus was that songs were too fucking long. Everyone would have these long faces, and I think, God damn, they're not enjoying it as much as we are." I remember getting off stage one night after playing Justice, and one of us saying, "Fuck, that's the last time we ever play that fucking song." Number 2, Enter Sandman was originally about crib death? The Black Album's opening cut and lead single, Enter Sandman, is worthy of its own Things You Didn't Know video, and one of the most surprising facts about the song is its extremely off-putting original theme, crib death. In 2007, Hetfield described it as, "You know, baby suddenly dies. The Sandman killed it." Lars Ulrich and Bob Rock felt they had to step in because the lyrics were initially so grim, including the line, "Disrupt the perfect family" instead of "Off to Never Never Land." Hetfield told Guitar World in 2008, "I can remember when I wrote the lyrics to Enter Sandman. Bob Rock and Lars came to me and said, 'These aren't as good as they could be.' And that pissed me off so much. I was like, fuck you, I'm the writer here." That was the first challenge from someone, and it made me work harder. Number 3, the guitar solo on Enter Sandman was inspired in part by a sample on an Ice-T album. Kirk Hammett told Guitar World, "I think the time has come to reveal where I actually got the guitar lick before the breakdown in Enter Sandman. It's from Magic Man by Heart, but I didn't get it from Heart's version. I got it from a cut off of Ice-T's Power album where he sampled it. I heard that and thought, I have to snake this." Number 4, Sad But True was originally written in a higher key and as a result wasn't nearly as crushingly heavy. When Rock heard the demo for Sad But True, he thought it was, quote, "the Kashmir of the 90s, referencing the classic Led Zeppelin song. The riff was astounding," he said to Guitar World. "Rhythmically, I could tell it had the potential to be absolutely crushing." Then, while in pre-production, he noticed that all the songs the band had brought in, including Sad But True, were in the key of E. Rock recalled, "I brought this to the band's attention, and they said, well, isn't E the lowest note? So I told them that on Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood, which I produced and Metallica loved, the band had tuned down to D. Metallica then tuned down to D, and that's when the riff really became huge. It was this force that you couldn't stop, no matter what." Number 5, Nothing Else Matters was not intended to be a Metallica song or to be played for other people. Hetfield spoke to Jeff Woods in 2016, saying, "It was a song written in hotel rooms on the Justice Tour about missing friends at home, being out for such a long time. That was a song that was not meant to be played for other people. It was for me." I think that's important, to write music that makes you feel good. I've got quite a few songs that are like that. Nothing Else Matters was heard by the band and they thought it was amazing. And I thought, you're crazy. That's just this sappy ballady thing that makes me feel okay. Kirk Hammett said to Playboy in 2001 that he was initially uncomfortable with the song as well. All I could think of at the time was James wrote a fucking love song to his girlfriend? That's just weird. For his part, Hetfield was so unsure about releasing Nothing Else Matters as a Metallica song that when the band debuted the Black Album with a free listening party at Madison Square Garden on August 3rd, 1991, he was afraid diehard fans might become physically ill upon hearing it. In the Metallica Unbound book, James said, I was just waiting for Nothing Else Matters to come on. You know, to see these people just look at each other and throw up. And to his surprise and relief, people were pretty into it, which he adds was pretty amazing. Number 6. James Hetfield's vocals on the Unforgiven and Nothing Else Matters were inspired by Chris Isaak. Hetfield's singing took a huge step forward on the Black Album, evolving from a primal, thrash metal yell to a much more nuanced and wide-ranging rock vocal. When making that leap, the Metallica frontman looked to Chris Isaak, particularly his song Wicked Game, which was a massive early 90s hit, and according to Bob Rock, Hetfield was enamored with it. Bob Rock recalled on Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast in 2015, Hetfield played me a Chris Isaak record and he said, on Nothing Else Matters and The Unforgiven, I want to sing. How do you sing like this? I said, I'll get you a great vocal sound, so you don't have to double your vocals. What you hear in Chris Isaac's voice is the nuances when he sings. He isn't doubled. He's actually performing. You perform. So we set it up so he was comfortable and had a great vocal sound. And then he sang. Every day he got better and he got comfortable with it. He became a great singer. Number 7, Bob Rock thought the lyrics to Of Wolf and Man were silly. Rock said to Guitar World in 2011, I'll be honest, at first I thought it was silly to write about a wolf. I was like, oh great, a song about a wolf. What are you fucking getting at? May as well write about the pyramids or something. When metal goes into these kinds of areas, I lose the plot. He eventually came around saying, then as we got more into James's lyrics, I realized that the song wasn't silly, that there was in fact a earthiness to it. We talked about making the song go through a transformation, kind of reflecting the lyrics. It took a while. I'm not sure we got there fully, but we got there most of the way. Number 8, Lars Ulrich, Kirk Hammett, and Jason Newsted were all going through divorces during the making of the Black Album. The personal lives of 3 of the 4 Metallica members were in deep disarray as they set upon writing and recording what would prove to be the group's breakthrough album. And that darkness and chaos may have crept into the resulting music. Kirk Hammett revealed to Playboy, Lars, Jason, and I were going through divorces. I was an emotional wreck. I was trying to take those feelings of guilt and failure and channel them into the music to get something positive out of it. Jason and Lars were too, and I think that has a lot to do with why the Black Album sounds the way it does. Number 9, Ulrich came up with the idea of going very stark and simple with the cover art as a reaction against standard cartoonish metal imagery. According to the book Enter Night, a biography of Metallica, Ulrich was struck with the initial guiding vision for the Black Album's cover art early in the recording process. Author Mick Wall writes that the drummer was browsing through a typically colorful heavy metal mag, noticing how the ads for various albums all looked the same when he realized that Metallica had to do something different. Ulrich said to Wall, all these cartoon characters and all this steel and blood and guts, let's get as far away as possible from this. The resulting all-black cover certainly made a statement, which Hetfield expressed succinctly as, here it is, black sleeve, black logo, fuck you. And number 10, Metallica and Bob Rock found working with each other so difficult that they plan to never do it again. If you've ever watched the incredible documentary A Year and a Half in the Life of Metallica, you know that the making of the Black Album was a tense and contentious affair. Bob Rock told Rolling Stone, I used to call James Dr. No. Whenever I was about to make a suggestion that seemed even a little off the wall, he'd say no before I'd even finished the first sentence. Things were so tense during the recording sessions that the producer, quote, told the guys when we were done that I'd never work with them again. They felt the same way about me. Of course, things worked out a little differently. After the album's smash success, Rock and Metallica would go on to collaborate over 3 more albums, Load, Reload, and Saint Anger. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and click on one of these other awesome Revolver videos that are floating around this end card.